Hey everybody, welcome to a new episode of This Week in Goldmaking. So I'm kind of titling this one String to Rule Them All. The idea is to maybe focus on an idea or concept, instead of just kind of going through all the sales that I've done. That kind of gets a little boring, I think. So one thing to look at in TSM is there's lots of room for operations. You can create just because uh, so you have an item that you want to sell. You kind of what you end up doing is you kind of come up with a string that is used to sell that. And once you've come up with one string, you kind of want to apply that to everything. But the thing is not everything falls into just one bucket. You've got crafted items, you've got stuff you can vendor items, stuff you can buy from the vendor and then resell. You don't want to necessarily your minimum price might be different for those than your transmog that you farmed up. Excuse me. Um, so don't let perfect be the enemy of good or good enough. You know, come up with a bunch of come up with a bunch of different operations that work, and then as you find that more items can maybe fall into uh, using one operation, just move those over eventually. So like when I started out, I've still got operations that I'm pretty sure I don't use, like these, and these were like very simple at the start. Just I mean, you can see very simple. So uh, in fact, I'm not sure if anything's using these healing tonic, which I'm pretty sure I don't sell anymore. Anyway, um, just don't worry about it being perfect. Just get something, start selling, uh, and don't worry if things aren't perfect to start. You can always uh, work on it later. All right, so let's look at uh, my sheets here. So this is last week, August 13th. The one on the right is yesterday. I happened to pick up a really good buy for Primal Fire. Sorry about the throat issue there. Um, one thing you can do with you don't have to use TSM for everything, but so like if you switch to the Blizzard default, you can set up favorites. So a lot of when you're crafting items, um, let me get a little drink. So when you're crafting stuff, what you want to do is find materials for a good price. So an easy way, like on my engineer, I'll I had set up to look for Primal Fire because they use Primal Fire for different stuff, and I think I've even got Modifier and some other stuff there. So you can set up the default UI, set up favorites there so that uh, they kind of come up, and you just kind of get a look real quick to see if there's any good deals there. So always be shopping, always be posting auctions, always be crafting, and you'll always be making gold. So that's the idea uh, behind that. So let's look at anyway. Alchemy. Alchemy wasn't bad this week. We can look at last week, 50K. This week was 40K. Um, yeah, I've noticed a lot of prices of flasks have just been depressed. I thought they were gonna kind of skyrocket a bit at the start of the expansion. So I'd made like 1,000 flasks, but they've kind of floated around under 500 gold, which is still profitable, but not not what I expected. Enchanting, I'm working on getting out of enchanting. Not completely out, but just kind of get reduce all the quantity of items I have, plus the variety. I want to maybe focus more on a few items. I think I'm probably the only one selling this Death Frost. It doesn't sell that often. Let's bring up the ledger for that, just so you can maybe look at what. I gotta let it think here. So last 30 days, so you sell two over 30 days, but I've sold quite a few here, but 15. But I mean, it sells for a lot. It does require like primal water, primal shadow. People don't tend to want to use their primals to make a uh, to make an enchant, because they want to make easy stuff. So uh, sorry. Let's see. So yeah, I'm the only one selling it right now. I'll sell one, yeah, like one or two a month. Let's go back here. So that might be something you want to do. Uh, I can barely read that. Okay, so that was two. Yeah, the font kind of messed up after the copy, but anyway, inscription. Still, those are my formulas. Price of Nightshade is uh, coming down quite a bit. So, all right. Lots of sales last week. This week, more sales, but about the same amount. I have picked up the Vantis rune for the Sanction of Domination. I've started selling those, and I think somebody reset it to just a ridiculous amount, but then it kind of fluctuated between a ridiculous, exorbitant amount and kind of like barely over crafting. So it's kind of like, why bother? But I've added that to the list. Engineering's not a whole lot sold this week. Uh, so probably no mounts. Some guns. So crafted stuff. Let's see. I'll go down to the bottom of the list on the left. This is last week. So 204 items. Pink party hats still selling. So what happened initially is somebody got the recipe early on in the expansion. They made like a whole bunch of them, posted a whole bunch of them. One person posting 20. Maybe if you're the first one posting, uh, that might not be a bad idea. But what ends up happening then is everyone kind of just gets bored with it, and then they stop posting, and then eventually what happens is it's like one or two of us auctioneers, goblins or whatever, post these items. So red lumberjack shirt. So there was this past week there was I guess the free t-shirt day or something like that, free shirt day. So what happens is a lot of people pick up these shirts, and then it gets them in the mindset of, well, hey, maybe I should, there's some other shirts that I don't have, and so red lumberjack shirt seems to be pretty popular. Cooking, about the same number of items, about similar prices and stuff. So still selling stuff there. And then legendaries kind of coming down in quantity as well as sale revenue. Yeah, I really need to do these episodes when I have like a clear throat. Rank 3, yeah, it's things kind of slowing down, um, but still selling through some of my inventory. Yeah, and rank 4, not as much as last week. Some of that could be that I just don't have as much of the uh, items to sell. Some of my inventory. Come on, yeah, wish it wouldn't flip like that. So yeah, last week sold a lot, compared to this week. So the other thing is Korthite prices are coming down. I think last I checked, here we can just look real quick. I 850. My smart average buy is 897. So I since I'm using that kind of as my uh, pricing, within my crafting costs, I use smart average buy. I think unless I have like less than 100 of these, then it uses um, it'll use more of the market value. So I probably will buy a few more. I think what's going to happen is during the week, at the start of reset, a lot of people do the quests, as well as maybe they check their vault. They don't like what they got in the vault, and they use the little cluster or whatever you can get instead of the item, and then you can use that to basically buy 5 Korthite crystals. So I think you're going to continue to have a flood of Korthite crystals. You're still going to have people doing the quests to get reputation in Korthia. So you're going to continue to have these flow in there. I think at a certain point, though, your instead of making like if the crystals come down enough in price, you could in theory, so like a ring here costs 7,000. So my custom source legendary says how much it costs to the crafting cost. Well, sorry, it also says it down there under crafting costs. So 7,000 versus, let's look at the ring versus, let me look at the ring versus 18,000. So if you can get the vestige of origins down below 11,000 gold, then it might be viable to be making a Shadowghast ring rank 2, and just add a vestige to it to make a rank 4. So you could actually make sense to start buying up crystals at a certain price. Now you probably just need to do the calculations on that, but current prices, yeah, if they come down to like 100 gold, then that's roughly four to 5,000 gold that you add to the cost of a rank 2 by adding a vestige to it. So you could actually, that might be a viable path. So I think there is a bottom price, but it could be based off of a lot of factors. So how much the other materials cost. So that might be something if you're still looking to get into legendaries and you've actually got up to rank 2. There might be a point at which you can start using vestiges on like rank rank twos, and it could mean that the rank fives um, might actually become a viable source to start selling. So as these vestiges come down in price, that might mean that rank fives start to become a little bit more popular. People are, especially if the prices between the rank 5 and rank 6 start to be a little more, reasonable. If you're not paying, uh, maybe if you're paying 30,000 for a rank 5 as opposed to 60,000 for a rank 6, then that might make sense for people to buy those. So anyway, that's kind of a long-winded episode. So if you have any questions or comments or something you'd like me to cover, just let me know. I think what I'm going to try to do is do like some sort of episode during the middle of the week, just covering some other stuff that I think might be of interest, and I'll probably have a bit more of a scripted uh, process to that. So kind of make a list of stuff I want to cover. So anyway, I would appreciate any feedback. Thanks, and y'all have a great weekend.